Thank you.
Okay. All right. We're now being live streamed. I just wanted to get that out of the way. Now I need to get out of it and get back to where I can actually record it. So, company, and even though I've put the title as The Two Gentlemen of Verona, it's actually The Two Gentlemen of Verona. So I will fix that later. All right, now we are recording. Welcome everyone. This is the Instant Shakespeare Company, and today we're doing a Zoom reading of The Two Gentlemen of Verona. We have one person who I'm waiting for who's coming back on another device, and we have a hearty group of players ready to dive into this. So let's just my name's Paul Sugarman. I'm the founder of Instant Shakespeare Company. Possibly, if I have a good enough connection later, I'll come in and read Sir Eglamour. But we'll see. If not, somebody can cover for me. And let me just, while we're waiting for Verona, if you could each introduce yourself and say what you're doing as far as you know at this point. Let's start with Derek.
Okay, I'm Derek Tarson, and I am playing the Duke and Speed and the First Outlaw. I think that's it.
Okay, and I think you also said host?
And host, I'm sorry, and host. Thank you.
All right, and Matt?
Sure, good afternoon. My name is Matt Bogan. I'm playing Valentine and Antonio.
Great. And Michael?
Michael E. Gardner, Proteus.
Yes, you're in a lot of it, so I don't think you'll have a chance to do other stuff.
Be too much.
Kitty.
Hi, I'm Kitty Chen. I'm reading Julia and Outlaw 3.
Okay, and Jackie.
Hi, I'm Jacqueline Margolis, and I'm reading Lucetta and Lance and Outlaw 2.
Okay. And, actually, I think, Jackie, you may also need to read Sylvia as well.
Okay.
Since you're our other female. And Verona, are you back now? So
yes, it's good. It's good.
Great. Okay. And Verona, who will be reading Panthino and Certhurio, and also possibly the musician.
Cool.
So, and anyways, the idea of Instant Shakespeare Company is that these are, it's about fun and sharing the text. Sometimes we read the stage directions. Unfortunately, with this play, the stage directions were more confusing than they're worth, because in the first folio, it lists everybody at the very beginning of the scene, even though they don't come in till later. And so you guys will just have to figure out when you're in the scene. And just a reminder, when you're in the scene, have your camera and audio on and turn them off when you're not in the scene. So thank you all, and let's have fun with this. And so any questions before we begin? All right.
I think I was going to ask something about a pronunciation, but if I get it wrong, I get it wrong.
Yeah. Now, the important thing is there's so many words that we don't use as much anymore, is that when you're not sure of a word, just pronounce it with
Bragadisme? What is the word? Bragadisme? What this?
Braggadocio. Maybe.
Yeah, but he doesn't say braggadocio. He spells it Bardgadisme. Braggadisme.
Yeah, well, I don't know. They're all
however you say it will be correct.
Either how I say it. Such a brag.
Okay. Well, let us begin then. And so those of us who aren't in the first scene, we can stop our video. And I now present the Two Gentlemen. The Instant Shakespeare Company presents The Two Gentlemen of Verona by William Shakespeare.
By Bill Shakespeare.
Cease to persuade, my loving Proteus. Homecoming youth have ever homely wits. Were not affection chains thy tender days to the sweet glances of thy honored love, I would rather entreat thy company to see the wonders of the world abroad than, living dully sluggardized at home, wear out thy youth with shapeless idleness. But since thou lovest, love still and thrive therein, even as I would when I to love begin.
Wilt thou be gone? Sweet Valentine, adieu. Think on thy Proteus when thou haply seest some rare and noteworthy object in thy travel. Wish me partaker in thy happiness when thou dost meet good hap. And in thy danger, if ever danger do environ thee, commend thy grievances to my holy prayers, for I will be thy beatsman, Valentine.
And on a love book pray for my success?
Upon some book I love, I'll pray for thee.
That's on some shallow story of deep love, how young Leander crossed the Hellespont.
That's a deep story of a deeper love, for he was more than over shoes in love.
'Tis true, for you are over boots in love, and yet you never swam the Hellespont.
Over the boots? Nay, give me not the boots.
No, I will not, for to boots thee not.
What?
To be in love, where scorn is bought with groans, coy looks with heart-sore sighs, one fading moment's mirth with 20 watchful, weary, tedious nights, if haply won, perhaps a hapless gain. If lost, why then a grievous labor won. However, but a folly bought with wit, or else a wit by folly vanquished.
So by your circumstance you call me a fool?
So by your circumstance I fear you'll prove.
'Tis love you cavil at. I am not love.
Love is your master, for he masters you, and he that is so yoked by a fool methinks should not be chronicled for wise.
Yet writers say, as in the sweetest bud, the eating canker dwells, so eating love inhabits in the finest wits of all.
And writers say, as the most forward bud is eaten by the canker ere it below, even so by love the young and tender wit is turned to folly, blasting in the bud, losing his verdure, even in the prime, and all the fair effects of future hopes. But wherefore waste I time to counsel thee? Thou art a votary to fond desire. Once more, adieu. My father at the road expects my coming there to see me shipped.
And thither will I bring thee, Valentine.
Sweet Proteus, no. Now let us take our leave. To Milan, let me hear from thee by letters of thy success in love, and what news else betideth here in absence of thy friend. And I likewise will visit thee with mine.
All happiness bechance to thee in Milan.
As much to you at home, and so farewell.
He after honor hunts, I after love. He leaves his friends to dignify them more. I love myself, my friends, and all for love. Thou, Julia, thou hast metamorphized me, made me neglect my studies, lose my time, war with good counsels, set the word at naught, made wit with musing weak, heart sick with thought.
Sir Proteus, save you. Saw you my master?
But now he parted hence to embark from Milan.
20 to 1, then he is shipped already, and I have played the sheep in losing him.
Indeed, a sheep doth very often stray, and if the shepherd be a while away.
You conclude my master is a shepherd then, and I sheep?
I do.
Why then, my horns are his horns, whether I wake or sleep.
A silly answer, and fitting well as sheep.
This proves me still a sheep.
True, and thy master a shepherd.
Nay, that I can deny by a circumstance.
It shall go hard, but I'll prove it by another.
The shepherd, the sheep, and not the sheep, the shepherd. But I seek my master, and my master seeks not me. Therefore, I am no sheep.
The sheep for fodder follow the shepherd. The shepherd for food follows not the sheep. Thou for wages followest thy master. Thy master for wages follows not thee. Therefore, thou art a sheep.
Such another proof will make me cry, bah.
This thou here, gavest thou my letter to Julia?
I, sir, I, a lost mutton, gave your letter to her, a laced mutton, and she, a laced mutton, gave me, a lost mutton, nothing in my labor.
Here's too small a pasture for such a story of muttons.
If the ground be overcharged, you were best sticker.
Nay, in that you are astray, 'twere best pound you.
Nay, sir, less than a pound shall serve me for carrying your letter.
You mistake, I mean the pound, the pinfold.
From a pound to a pin, folded over and over, 'tis threefold too little for carrying a letter to your lover.
But what said she?
I,
Not I? That's naughty.
you mistook, sir. I say she did nod, and you ask me if she did nod, and I say I.
And that set together is naughty.
Now you have taken the pains to set it together. Take it for your pains.
No, no, you shall have it for bearing the letter.
Well, I perceive I must be fain to bear with you.
My sir, how do you bear with me?
Marry, sir, the letter very orderly, having nothing but the word naughty for my pains.
Beshrew me, but you have a quick wit.
And yet it cannot overtake your slow purse.
Come, come, open the matter in brief. What said she?
Open your purse, that the money and the matter may be both at once delivered.
Well, sir, here is for your pains. What says she?
Truly, sir, I think you'll hardly win her.
Why? Because thou perceives so much from her?
Sir, I could perceive nothing at all from her. No, not so much as a ducat for delivering your letter and being so hard to me that brought your mind. I fear she'll prove as hard to you in telling your mind. Give her no token but stones, for she's as hard as.
What said she? Nothing?
No, not so much as take this for your pains. To testify your bounty, I thank you. You have cisterned me. In requital whereof, henceforth, carry your letters yourself. And so, sir, I'll commend you to my master.
Go, go, be gone to save your ship from wrack which cannot perish having thee aboard, being destined into a drier death on shore. I must go send some better messenger. I fear my Julia. Oh, damn, I lost my place. Ah, crap. I fear my Julia is going to have to wait until I get out the next friggin' line. Page, please.
7.
Thank you. I fear my Julia would not deign my lines receiving them from such a worthless post.
Enter Julia and Lucetta. Julia? Have we adjourned?
Kitty, that's you.
Wait it, hold on. Oh, shoot, this damn.
Page 8.
I know, but I'm having trouble with my computer. But say, Lucetta, now we are alone. Wouldst thou then counsel me to fall in love?
Ay, madam. So you stumble not unheedfully.
Of all the fair resort of gentlemen that every day with power encounter me, in thy opinion, which is worthiest love?
Well, please you repeat the names. I'll show my mind according to my shallow, simple skill.
What thinkst thou of the fair Sir Eglamour?
As a knight, well spoken, neat and fine. But were I you, he never should be mine.
Oh, what thinkst thou of the rich Mercatio?
Well, of his wealth, but of himself, so.
What thinkst thou of the gentle Proteus?
Oh, Lord, Lord, to see what folly reigns in us.
How now? What means this passion at his name?
Pardon, dear madam, 'tis a passing shame that I, unworthy body as I am, should censure thus unlovely gentlemen.
Why not on Proteus as of all the rest?
Ah, then thus of many good I think him best.
Your reason?
I have no other reason but a woman's reason. I think him so because I think him so.
And wouldst thou have me cast my love on him?
Aye, if you thought your love not cast away.
Why, he of all the rest hath never moved me.
Yet he of all the rest I think best loves thee.
His little speaking shows his love but small.
Fire that's closest kept burns most of all.
They do not love that do not show their love.
Oh, they love least that let men know their love.
I would I knew his mind.
Peruse this paper.
Are you going to say the last word?
Peruse this paper.
Madam, okay. To Julia, say from whom?
That the contents will show.
Say, who gave it thee?
Sir Valentine's page, and sent, I think, from Protheus. He would have given it to you, but I, being in the way, did in your name receive it. Pardon the fault, I pray.
Now, by my modesty, a goodly broker. Dare you presume to harbor wanton lines, to whisper and conspire against my youth? Now trust me, 'tis an office of great worth, and you an officer fit for the place. There, take the paper, see it be returned, or else return no more into my sight.
To plead for love deserves more fee than hate.
Will you be gone?
That you may ruminate.
And yet I would I had o'erlooked the letter. 'Twere a shame to call her back again and pray her to a fault which I chid her, for which I chid her. What fool is she that knows I am a maid, and would not force the letter to my view? Since maids in modesty say no to that which they would have to proffer or construe, I. Oh, fie, how wayward is this foolish love, that like a testy babe will scratch the nurse, and presently, all humbled, kiss the rod. How churlishly I chid Lucetta hence, when willingly I would have had her here. How angrily I taught my brow to frown, when inward joy enforced my heart to smile. Oh, my penance is to call Lucetta back and ask remission for my folly past. What ho, Lucetta?
What would your ladyship?
It's near dinner time.
I would it were that you might kill your stomach on the meat, not upon your maid.
What is it that you took up so gingerly?
Nothing.
Why didst thou stoop then?
To take a paper up that I let fall.
And is that paper nothing?
Nothing concerning me.
Then let it lie for those that it concerns.
Madam, it would not lie where it concerns unless it have a false interpreter.
Some love of yours have writ to you in rhyme.
That I might sing it, madam, to a tune. Give me a note your ladyship can set.
As little by such toys as may be possible. Best sing it to the tune of Light o' Love.
Oh, it is too heavy for so light a tune.
Heavy. Be like it hath some burden then?
Aye, and melodious were it would you sing it.
And why not you?
Oh, I cannot reach so high.
Let's see your song. How now, minion?
Oh, keep tune this, do. So you will sing it out, and yet methinks I do not like this tune.
You do not?
No, madam, 'tis too sharp.
You, minion, are too saucy.
Nay, now you are too flat, and mar the concord with too harsh a descant. There wanteth but the mean to fill your song.
The mean is drowned with you unruly bass.
Indeed, I bid the bass for Protheus.
This babble shall not henceforth trouble me. Here is a coil with protestation. Go, get you gone, and let the papers lie. You would be fingering them to anger me.
She makes it strain, but she would be best pleased to be so angered with another letter.
Nay, would I were so angered with the same. O hateful hands, to tear such loving words, injurious wasp, to feed on such sweet honey and kill the bees that yield it with your stings. I'll kiss each several paper for amends. Look, here's writ, kind Julia, unkind Julia. As in revenge of thy ingratitude, I throw thy name against the bruising stones, trampling contemptuously on thy disdain. And here is writ, love wounded Proteus. Poor wounded name! My bosom, as a bed, shall lodge thee till thy wound be thoroughly healed. And thus I searched for the sovereign kiss, but twice or thrice was Proteus written down. Be calm, good wind, blow not a word away, till I have found each letter in the letter except mine own name. That some whirlwind bear unto a ragged, fearful, hanging rock, and throw it thence into the raging sea. Lo, here in one line is his name writ twice. Poor forlorn Proteus, passionate Proteus, to the sweet Julia. That I'll tear away, and yet I will not. Sith so prettily he couples it to his complaining names. Oh, thus will I fold them one upon another. Now kiss, embrace, contend, do what you will.
Madame, dinner is ready, and your father stays.
Well, let us go.
What shall these papers lie like telltales here?
If you respect them, best to take them up.
Nay, I was taken up for laying them down, yet here they shall not lie for catching cold.
I see you have a month's mind to them.
Ay, madam, you may say what sights you see, I see things too, although you judge. I wink.
Come, come, will't please you go?
Tell me, Pantina, what sad talk was that wherewith my brother held you in the cloister?
'Twas of his nephew Proteus, your son.
Why, what of him?
He wondered that your lordship would suffer him to spend his youth at home, while other men of slender reputation put forth their sons to seek preferment out, some to the wars to try their fortune there, some to discover islands far away, some to the studious universities. For any or for all these exercises, he said that Proteus your son was meet, and did request me to importune you to let him spend his time no more at home, which would be great impeachment to his age in having known no travel in his youth.
Nor needest thou much importune me to that whereon this month I have been hammering. I have considered well his loss of time, and how he cannot be a perfect man, not being tried and tutored in the world. Experience is by industry achieved and perfected by the swift course of time. Then tell me whither were I best to send him?
I think your lordship is not ignorant how his companion, youthful Valentine, attends the emperor in his royal court.
I know it well.
'Twere good. I think your lordship send him thither. There shall he practice his tilts and tournaments, hear sweet discourse, converse with noble men, and be in eye of every exercise worthy his youth and nobleness of birth.
I like thy counsel. Well hast thou advised, and that thou mayest perceive well how I like it. The execution of it shall make it known. Even with the speediest expedition I will dispatch him to the emperor's court.
Tomorrow, may it please you, Don Alfonso, with other gentlemen of good esteem, are journeying to salute the emperor and to commend their service to his will.
Good company. With them Proteus shall go. And in good time, now will we break with him.
Sweet love, sweet lines, sweet life. Oh, here is her hand, the agent of her heart. Here is her oath for love, her honor's pawn. Oh, that our fathers would applaud our loves to seal our happiness with their consents. Oh, heavenly Julia.
Oh, now, what letter are you reading there?
May it please your lordship, 'tis a word or two of commendation sent from Valentine, delivered by a friend that came from him.
Lend me the letter. Let me see what news.
Ah, there is no news, my lord, but that he writes how happily he lives, how well beloved and daily graced by the emperor, wishing me with him partner of his fortune.
And how stand you affected to his wish?
Just one relying on your lordship's will and not depending on his friendly wish.
My will is something sorted with his wish. Muse not that I thus suddenly proceed, for what I will, and there an end. I am resolved that thou shalt spend some time with Valentinus in the emperor's court. What maintenance he from his friends receives, like exhibition thou shalt have from me. Tomorrow be in readiness to go. Excuse it not, for I am peremptory.
Oh, my lord, I cannot be so soon provided. Please you deliberate a day or two?
Look, what thou wantest shall be sent after thee. No more to stay. Tomorrow thou must go. Come on, Pantino, you shall be employed to hasten on his expedition.
Thus have I shunned the fire for fear of burning, and drenched me in the sea where I am drowned. I fear to show my father Julius' letter, lest he should take exceptions to my love, and with advantage of my own excuse hath he accepted most against my love. Oh, how this spring of love resembleth the uncertain glory of an April day, which now shows all the beauty of the sun, and by a cloud takes away.
Sir Proteus, your father calls for you. He is in haste, therefore I pray you to go.
Why, this is it. It is. My heart accords thereto, and yet 1,000 times to answer it, no.
Sir, your glove.
Not mine, my gloves are on.
Why, then this may be yours, for this is but one.
Ha, let me see. Give it me, it's mine. Sweet ornament that decks a thing divine. Oh, Sylvia, Sylvia.
Madam Sylvia, Madam Sylvia.
How now, sirrah?
Well, she's not within hearing, sir.
Why, sir, who bade you call her?
Your worship, sir, or else I mistook.
Well, you'll still be too forward.
And yet I was last chidden for being too slow.
Go to, sir. Tell me, do you know Madam Sylvia?
She that your worship loves?
Why, how know you that I am in love?
Married by these special marks. First, you have learned, like Sir Proteus, to wreath your arms like a male content, to relish a love song like a robin redbreast, to walk alone like one that had the pestilence to sigh, like a schoolboy that has lost his ABC, to weep like a young wench that had buried her granddam, to fast like one that takes diet, to watch like one that fears robbing, to speak puling like a beggar at the Hallowmass. You were wont, when you laughed, to crow like a cock. When you walked, to walk like one of the lions. When you fasted, it was presently after dinner. When you looked sadly, it was for want of money. And now you are metamorphized with a mistress. But when I look at you, I can hardly think you my master.
All these things perceived in me?
They are all perceived without me.
Without me? They cannot.
Without you? Nay, that's certain. For without you were so simple, none else would. But you are so without these follies that these follies are within you and shine through you like the water in a urinal, that not an eye sees you, but a physician is to comment on your malady.
But tell me, dost thou know my lady Sylvia?
She that you gaze so as she sits at supper?
Hast thou observed that? Even she, I mean?
My sir, I know her not.
Dost thou know her by my gazing on her, and yet knowest her not?
Is she not hard favored, sir?
Not so fair, boy, as well favored.
Sir, I know that well enough.
What dost thou know?
That she is not so fair as of you well favored.
I mean that her beauty is exquisite, but her favor infinite.
Well, that's because the one is painted and the other out of all count.
How painted, and how out of count?
Marry, sir, so painted to make her fair that no man's counts of her beauty.
How esteemest thou me? I account of her beauty.
You never saw her since she was deformed.
How long hath she been deformed?
Ever since you loved her.
I have loved her since I saw her, and still I see her beautiful.
If you love her, you cannot see her.
Why?
Because love is blind. Oh, that you had mine eyes, or your own eyes had the lights that you were wont to have when you chid Sir Proteus for going unguarded.
What should I see then?
Your own present folly and her passing deformity. For he, being in love, could not see to garter his hose, and you, being in love, cannot see to put on your hose.
Belike, boy, for then you are in love, for last morning you could not see to wipe my shoes.
True, sir. I was in love with my bed. I thank you. You swing me for my love, which makes me the bolder to chide you for hers. For yours.
In conclusion, I stand affected to her.
I would you were set so that your affection would cease.
Last night she enjoined me to write some lines to one she loves.
And have you?
I have.
Are they not lamely writ?
No, boy, but as well as I can do them. Peace, she comes.
Oh, exceeding motion. Oh, exceeding puppet. Now will he interpret to her.
Madam and mistress, 1,000 good morrows.
Oh, give ye good even. Here's a millions of manners.
Who's reading, Sylvia?
And servant, to you 2,000.
He
Sir
should give her
Valentine.
interest, and she gives it him.
As you enjoined me, I have writ your letter unto this secret, nameless friend of yours, which I was much unwilling to proceed in, but for my duty to your ladyship.
Oh, I thank you, gentle servant. 'Tis very clerkly done.
No, trust me, madam, it came hardly off, for being ignorant to whom it goes, I writ at random, very doubtfully.
Oh, perchance you think too much of so much pains.
No, madam, so it stead you, I will write, please you command 1,000 times as much, and yet
A pretty period. Well, I guess the sequel, and yet I will not name it, and yet I care not, and yet take this again, and yet I thank ye, meaning henceforth to trouble you no more.
And yet you will, and yet another yet.
it means your ladyship. Do you not like it?
Oh, yes, yes, the lawns are very quaintly writ, but since unwillingly, take them again. Nay, take them.
Madam, they are for you.
Aye, you writ them, sir, at my request, but I will none of them. They are for you. I would have had them writ more movingly.
Please me, I'll write your ladyship another.
And when it's writ, for my sake, read it over, and if it please you so, so if not, why so?
If it please me, madam, what then?
Why, if it please you, take it for your labor. And so good morrow, servant.
Oh, jest unseen, inscrutable, invisible as a nose on a man's face or a weathercock on a steeple. My master sues to her, and she hath taught her suitor, he being her pupil, to become her tutor. Oh, excellent device. Was there ever heard a better? That my master, being scribe, to himself should write the letter.
How now, sir? What are you reasoning with yourself?
Nay, I was rhyming. 'Tis you that have the reason.
To do what?
To be spokesman from Madam Sylvia.
To whom?
To yourself. Why? She woos you by a figure.
What figure?
By a letter, I should say.
Why, she hath not writ to me.
What needs she when she hath made you write to yourself? Why do you not perceive the jest?
No, believe me.
No, believing you indeed, sir. But did you perceive her earnest?
She gave me none except an angry word.
Why, she hath given you a letter.
The letter I writ to her friend.
And that letter hath she delivered, and there an end.
I would it were no worse.
I'll warrant you, 'tis as well. For often have you writ to her, and she in modesty, or else for want of idle time, she could not again reply, or fearing else the messenger that might her mind discover, herself hath taught her love himself to write unto her lover. All this I speak in print, for in print I found it. Why muse you, sir? It's dinner time.
I have dined.
Ay, but hearken, sir. Though the chameleon love can feed on the air, I am one that am nourished by my victuals, and I would fain have meat. Oh, be not like your mistress. Be moved, be moved.
Have patience, gentle Julia.
I must
but there is no. Oh, she's Julia. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I must where is no remedy.
When possibly I can, I will return.
If you turn not, you will return the sooner. Keep this remembrance for thy Julia's sake.
Why, then we'll make exchange. Here, take you this.
And seal the bargain with a holy kiss.
Here is my hand for my true constancy. And when that hour overslips me in the day where I sigh not, Julia, for thy sake, the next ensuing hour, some foul mischance torment me for my love's forgetfulness. My father stays my coming. Answer not. The tide is now, nay, not the tide of tears. The tide will stay me no longer than I should. Julia, farewell. What? Gone without a word? Aye. So true love should do. It cannot speak, for truth has better deeds than words to grace it.
Sir Proteus, you are stayed for.
Go, I come. Alas, this parting strikes poor lovers dumb.
Senior Tertia, enter Launce Pantheon.
Jackie, that's you.
Oh, Pantheon? Oh, Lawrence. Oh, right. I'm sorry.
Lawrence.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. So many passwords, so many roles here. I'm confused.
Your camera.
Nay, 'twill be this hour ere I've done weeping. All the kind of the lances have this very fault. I have received my proportion like the prodigious sun, and am going with Sir Protheus to the Imperial's court. I think Crab, my dog, be the sourest natured dog that lives. My mother weeping, my father wailing, my sister crying, our maid howling, our cat wringing her hands, and all our house in a great perplexity. Yet did not this cruel-hearted sir shed one tear? He is a stone, a very pebble stone, and has no more pity in him than a dog. A Jew would have wept to have seen our parting. For my grandma, having no eyes, look you, wept herself blind at my parting. Nay, I'll show you the manner of it. This shoe is my father. No, this left shoe is my father. No, this left shoe is my mother. Nay, they cannot be so. Nay, yes, oh, it is so. It is. Oh, it has the worst of so. This shoe with the hole, it is my mother. And this my father. A vengeance on it. There 'tis. Now, sir, this staff is my sister, for look you, she is as white as a lily and as small as a wand. This hat is Nana made. I am the dog. No, the dog is himself, and I am the dog. Oh, the dog is me, and I am myself. So. Now come I to my father. Father, your blessing. Now should not the shoe speak a word for weeping? Now should I kiss my father well? Oh, he weeps. Oh, no, come on, my mother. Oh, that she could speak now like a wood woman. Oh, will I kiss her? What? There's my mother beneath up and down. Now come I to my sister. Oh, mark the moan she makes. Neither dog all this while sheds not a tear, nor speaks a word. But see how I lay the dust with my tears.
Lawns, away, away, aboard. Thy master is shipped, and thou art to post after with oars. What's the matter? Why weepest thou, man? Away, ass, you'll lose the tide if you tarry any longer.
Oh, it is no matter if the tide were lost, for it is the unkindest tide that ever any man tied.
What's the unkindest tide?
Why, he that tied here, Crab, my dog.
Tut, man, I mean, thou'lt lose the flood, and in losing the flood, lose thy voyage, and in losing the voyage, lose thy master, and in losing thy master, lose thy service, and in losing thy service, why dost thou stop my mouth?
For fear thou shouldst lose thy tongue
Where should I lose my tongue?
and thy tail.
In thy tail?
Lose the tide and the voyage, and then the master and the service and the tide. Why, man, if the river were dry, I am able to fill it with tears. If the wind would down, I could drive the boat with my sighs.
Come away, man. I was sent to call thee.
Sir, call me what thou darest.
Wilt thou go?
Oh, well, I will go. Okay. All right. Sylvia. Sylvia? I am now Sylvia.
Lily, are you joining?
Have it, Sylvia.
There's a Valentine with the Sylvia and the servant. Wait,
Yep,
oh,
have
right.
that's a servant. That's a servant. That's not Sylvia. That's a servant. Sorry. Oh no, I am. I'm Sylvia. Servant.
Mistress?
Master, Sir Thurio frowns on you.
Aye, boy, it's for love.
Not of you.
Of my mistress, then.
For good you knocked him.
Servant, you're sad.
Indeed, madam, I seem so. Varen, were you reading Thurio?
Seem you that you're not.
Happily I do.
So do counterfeits.
So do you.
What seem I that I am not?
Wise,
What instance of that contrary?
your folly.
And how quote you my folly?
I quote it with your jerkin.
My jerkin is a doublet.
Well, then I'll double your folly.
How?
What? Angry, Sir Thurio? Do you change color?
Give him leave, madam, he is a kind of chameleon.
That hath more mind to feed on your blood than alive in your air.
As you have said, sir.
Aye, sir, and done too for this time.
I know it well, sir. You always end ere you begin.
A fine volley of words, gentlemen, and quickly shot off.
'Tis indeed, madam, we thank the giver.
Who is that servant?
Yourself, sweet lady, for you gave the fire. Sir Thurio borrows his wit from your ladyship's looks, and spends what he borrows kindly in your company.
Sir, if you spend word for word with me, I shall make your wit bankrupt.
I know it well, sir. You have an exchequer of words, and I think no other treasure to give your followers, for it appears by their bare liveries that they live by your bare words.
Oh, no more, gentlemen, no more. Here comes my father.
Now, daughter Sylvia, you are hard beset. Sir Valentine, your father is in good health. What say you to a letter from your friends of much good news?
My lord, I will be thankful to any happy messenger from thence.
Know ye Don Antonio, your countryman?
Ay, my good lord, I know the gentleman to be of worth and worthy estimation, and not without desert so well reputed.
Hath he not a son?
Ay, my good lord, a son that well deserves the honor and regard of such a father.
You know him well?
I knew him as myself, for from our infancy we have conversed and spent our hours together, and though myself have been an idle truant, omitting the sweet benefit of time to clothe mine age with angel-like perfection, yet hath Sir Proteus, for that's his name, made use and fair advantage of his days. His years but young, but his experience old, his head unmellowed, but his judgment ripe. And in a word, for so far beneath his worth comes all the praises that I do now bestow, he is complete in feature and in mind, with all good grace to grace a gentleman.
Beshrew me, sir, but if he make this good, he is worthy for an empress' love, as meet to be an emperor's counselor. Well, sir, this gentleman has come to me with commendation from great potentates, and here he means to spend his time a while. I think 'tis no unwelcome news to you.
Should I have wished a thing, it had been he.
Welcome then according to his worth. Sylvia, I speak to you and to you, Sir Thurio. For Valentine, I need not cite him to it. I will send him hither to you presently.
This is the gentleman I told your ladyship had come along with me, but that his mistress did hold his eyes locked in her crystal looks.
Belike that now she hath enfranchised them upon some other pawn for fealty.
Nay, sure, I am sure she holds them prisoners still.
Nay, then he should be blind, and being blind, how could he see his way to seek out you?
Lady love hath 20 pairs of eyes.
They say that love hath not an eye at all.
To see such lovers, Thurio, as yourself, upon a homely object love can wink.
Have done, have done. Here comes the gentleman.
Welcome, dear Proteus! Mistress, I beseech you, confirm his welcome with some special favor.
His worth is warrant for his welcome hither. If this be he you oft have wished to hear from.
Mistress, it is. Sweet lady, entertain him to be my fellow servant to your ladyship.
Oh, too low a mistress for so high a servant.
I think,
Not so, sweet lady, but too mean a servant to have a look of such a worthy a mistress.
leave off discourse of disability. Sweet lady, entertain him for your servant.
My duty will I boast of, nothing else.
And duty never did want his meed. Servant, you are welcome to a worthless mistress.
I'll die on him that says so but yourself.
That you are welcome.
That you are worthless.
Madam, my lord your father would speak with you.
I wait upon his pleasure. Come, Sir Thorleo, go with me. Once more, new servant, welcome. I'll leave you to confer of home affairs. When you have done, we look to hear from you.
We'll both attend upon your ladyship.
Now tell me, how do all from whence you came?
Your friends are well, much commended.
And how do yours?
I left them all in health.
How does your lady, and how thrives your love?
My tale of weary you. I know you joy not in love's discourse.
Ay, Proteus, but that life is altered now. I have done penance for contemning love, whose high imperious thoughts have punished me with bitter fasts, with penitential groans, with nightly tears, and daily heart-sore sighs. For in revenge of my contempt of love, love hath chased its sleep from my enthralled eyes, and made them watchers of mine own heart's sorrow. O gentle Proteus, love's a mighty lord, and hath so humbled me as I confess there is no woe to his correction, nor to his service no such joy on earth. Now no discourse except it be of love. Now can I break my fast, dine, sup, and sleep upon the very naked name of love.
Enough. I read your fortune in your eye. Was this the idol that you worship?
Oh, even so, even she, is she not a heavenly saint?
No, no, but she is an earthly paragon.
Call her divine.
I will not hear her.
Oh, flatter me, for love delights in praises.
When I was sick, you gave me bitter pills. Minister the like to you.
Then speak the truth by her. If not divine, let her be a principality, sovereign to all the creatures on the earth.
Except my mistress.
Sweet, accept not any, except thou wilt accept my love against my love.
Have I not reason to prefer mine own?
And I will help thee to prefer her too. She shall be dignified with this high honor, to bear my lady's train, lest the base earth should from her vesture chance to steal a kiss, and of so great a favour growing proud disdain to root the summer swelling flower and make rough winter everlasting.
Oh, why, Valentine, what braggadisme is this?
Pardon me, Proteus, all I can is nothing to her whose worth makes other worthies. Nothing. She is alone.
Then let her alone.
Not for the world. Why, man, she is mine own, and as rich in having such a jewel as 20 seas, if all their sand were pearl. The water nectar, the rocks pure gold. Forgive me that I do not dream on thee, because thou seest me dote upon my love. A foolish rival that her father likes only for his possessions so huge is gone with her along, and I must after, for love, thou knowest, is full of jealousy.
But she loves you?
Aye, we are betrothed. Nay, more, our marriage hour, with all the cunning manner of our flight determined of, I must climb her window, the ladder made of cords, and all the means plotted and agreed upon for my happiness. Good Proteus, go. Go with me to my chamber in these affairs to aid me with thy counsel.
Go on before. I shall inquire you forth. I must go into the road to disembark some necessaries that I needs must use, and then I'll presently attend you.
Would you make haste?
Yeah, I will. Even one heed, no heeded spells. For as one nail by strength dries out another, so the remembrance of my former love is by a newer object quite forgotten. It is mine or Valentine's praise, her true perfection or my false transgression that makes me read to reason thus. She is fair. And so is Julia, that I did love, for now love is thawed, which like a waxen image get fire bears no impression of the thing it was. Methinks my zeal to Valentine is cold, and that I love him not as I was, but I love his lady too much, and that's the reason I love him so little. I dote on her with more advice than the without advice begins. And these reasons light look on her actions. There is no reason can sharing love. I will. If not, compass her, I'll. You
Once?
Jackie, that's you.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Is it?
Lawns! By mine honesty, welcome to Padua.
Oh, forswear not thyself, sweet youth, for I am not welcome. I reckon this always, that a man is never undone till he be hanged, nor never welcome to a place till certain shot be paid, and the hostess say welcome.
Come on, you madcap. I'll to the alehouse with you presently, where for one shot of 5 pence thou shalt have 5,000 welcomes. But, Sirrah, how did thy master part with Madame Julia?
Marry, after they closed in earnest, they parted very fairly in jest.
But shall she marry him?
No,
How then? Shall he marry her?
no, neither.
What, are they broken?
No, they're both as whole as a fish.
Why then, how stands the matter with them?
Marry thus, when it stands well with him, it stands well with her.
What an ass thou art thou! I
What a
understand
block
thee
art
not.
thou, that thou canst not. My staff understands me.
What thou sayest?
I, and what I do too. Look thee, I'll but lean, and my staff understands me.
It stands under thee indeed.
Why stand under and understand is all one?
But tell me true, wilt it be a match?
Oh, ask my dog. If he say aye, it will. If he say no, it will. If he shake his tail and say nothing, it will.
The conclusion is then that it will.
Oh, thou shalt never get such a secret from me, but by a parable.
'Tis well I get it so. But Lance, how sayest thou that my master is become a notable lover?
I never knew him otherwise.
Then how?
A notable lover, as thou reportest him to be.
Why thou horse and ass, thou mistakest me.
Why, fool, I meant not thee, I meant thy master.
I tell thee, my master is become a hot lover.
Oh, why, I tell thee I cannot, though he'll burn himself in love. If thou wilt go with me to the alehouse, if not, thou art an Hebrew, a Jew, and not worth the name of a Christian.
Why?
Because thou hast not so much charity in thee as to go to the alehouse with a Christian. Will thou go?
At thy service.
to leave my Julia, shall I be forsworn? To love Sylvia, shall I be forsworn? To wrong my friend I shall be much forsworn. And even that power which gave me first my oath to threefold perjury. Love bade me swear, and love bids me forswear. Oh, sweet suggesting love, if thou hast sinned, teach me thy tempted subject to excuse it. At first I did adore a twinkling star, but now I worship celestial sun. Heedful vows may heedfully be broken, and he wants wit that wants resolved will to learn his wit, the exchange bad for better. Fie, reverent, to call her bad, whose sovereignty oft thou heard with thousand soul confirming oaths. I cannot leave to love, and yet I do. But there I leave to love where I should love. Julia I lose, and Valentine I lose. If I keep them, I needs must lose self. If I lose them, thus find I, by their loss, for Valentine, myself for Julia. So, and dearer than a friend, for love is still more precious in self. And Sylvia, witness heaven that made her fair, shows Julia but a swarthy help. I will forget that Julia is alive. And Valentine I'll hold an enemy, aiming at Sylvia as a sweeter friend. This night he meaneth a court love, let no his shadow. Myself and counsel his competitor, and now I'll give her facing and pretended flight with all enraged, who all enraged will banish Valentine for Thurio. He intends shall wed his daughter. Well, slick blood Thurio's daughter sing. Love, lend me wings to make my purpose swift, as thou hast lent me wit.
Counsel, Lucetta, gentle girl, assist me, and even in kind love I do conjure thee, who art the table wherein all my thoughts are visibly charactered and engraved, to lesson me, and tell me some good mean, how with my honor I may undertake a journey to my loving Proteus.
Alas, the way is wearisome and long.
A true devoted pilgrim is not weary to measure kingdoms with his feeble steps. Much less shall she that hath love's wings to fly, and when the flight is made to one so dear, of such divine perfection as Sir Proteus.
Oh, better forbear to Protheus make return.
Oh, know ye not, his looks are my soul's food. Pity the dearth that I have pined in by longing for that food so long a time. Dost thou but know the inly touch of love, thou wouldst as soon go kindle fire with snow as seek to quench the fire of love with words.
I do not seek to quench your love's hot fire, but qualify the fire's extreme rage, lest it should burn above the bounds of reason.
The more thou dampst it up, the more it burns. The current that with gentle murmur glides, thou knowest, being stopped, impatiently doth rage. But when his fair course is not hindered, he makes sweet music with the enameled stones, giving a gentle kiss to every sedge he overtaketh in his pilgrimage. And so by many winding nooks he strays with willing sport to the wild ocean. Then let me go, and hinder not my course. I'll be as patient as a gentle stream, and make a pastime of each weary step, till the last step hath brought me to my love, and there I'll rest as after much turmoil a blessed soul doth in Elysium.
But in what habit will you go it all alone?
Not like a woman, for I would prevent the loose encounters of lascivious men. Gentle Lucetta, fit me with such weeds as may beseem some well-reputed page.
Well, then your ladyship must cut her hair.
No, girl, I'll knit it up in silken strings, with 20 odd conceited true love knots. To be fantastic may become a youth of greater time when then I shall show to be.
What fashion, madam, shall I make your breeches?
That fits as well as tell me, good my lord.
Oh, what compass will you wear your farthingale?
Why, even what fashion thou best likes.
You must needs have the with a codpiece, madam.
Out, out. That will be ill-favored.
A round hose, madam. Now's not worth a pin unless you have a codpiece to stick pins on.
Lucetta, as thou lovest me, let me have what thou thinkst meet and is most mannerly. But tell me, wench, how will the world repute me for undertaking so unstaid a journey? I fear it will make me scandalized.
If you think so, then stay at home and go not.
Nay, that I will not.
Then never dream on infamy, but go. If Proteus like your journey when you come, no matter who's displeased, when you are gone, I fear me he will scarce be pleased withal.
That is the least, Lucetta, of my fear. 1,000 oaths, an ocean of his tears, and instances of infinite of love warrant me welcome to my Proteus.
All these are servants to deceitful men.
Base men that use them to so base effect. But truer stars did govern Proteus' birth. His words are bonds, his oaths are oracles, his love sincere, his thoughts immaculate, his tears pure messengers sent from his heart as far from fraud as heaven from earth.
Pray heaven he prove so when you come to him.
Now, as thou lovest me, do him not that wrong to bear a hard opinion of his truth. Only deserve my love by loving him, and presently go with me to my chamber to take note of what I stand in need of, to furnish me upon my longing journey. All that is mine I leave at thy dispose, my goods, my lands, my reputation. Only in lieu thereof dispatch me hence. Answer not, but to it presently. I am impatient in my tarriance.
Aaron, you ready? Oh, that's right. Thuriel's not needed here.
Sir Thurio, give us leave, I pray, a while. We have some secrets to confer about. Now, tell me, Proteus, what's your will with me? Where's Proteus?
That which I would discover, the law of friendship bids me to conceal. But when I call to mind your gracious favors done to me, undeserving as I am, my duty pricks me on to utter that which else no worldly good draw from me. No worthy princess, Sir Valentine, my friend, this night intends to steal away your daughter. Myself, one made privy to, I have determined to bestow her on Thurio, whom your gentle daughter hates. And should she thus be torn away from you, be much vexation to your age. Thus, for my duty's sake, I rather choose to cross my friend in his intended drift than by concealing to heap in your head a pack of sorrows which would press you down, being unprevented to your timeless grave.
Proteus, I thank thee for thy honest care, which to requite command me while I live. This love of theirs myself have often seen, haply when they have judged me fast asleep, and oftentimes have purposed to forbid Sir Valentine her company, and my court. but fearing lest my jealous aim might err, and so unworthily disgrace the man, a rashness that I have ever yet have shunned, I gave him gentle looks, thereby to find that which thyself hath now disclosed to me, and that thou mayest perceive my fear of this, knowing that tender youth is soon suggested, I nightly lodger in an upper tower, the key whereof myself have ever kept, and thence she cannot be conveyed away.
No, noble lord, they have seen how he, her chamber window, will ascend, and with a corded ladder fetch her down, for which the youthful lord now is gone, and this waits he with it presently. If it please you, you may, my lord, do I discover for love of you, not hate until my may be published of this pre.
Upon mine honor, he shall never know that I had any light from thee of this.
Adieu, my lord. Valentine is coming.
Sir Valentine, whither away so fast?
Please, your grace, there is a messenger that stays to hear my letters to my friends, and I am going to deliver them.
Be they of much import?
The tenor of them doth but signify my health and happy being at your court.
Nay then, no matter. Stay with me a while. I am to break with thee of some affairs that touch me near, wherein thou must be secret. 'Tis not unknown to thee that I have sought to match my friend Sir Thurio to your daughter, to my daughter.
I know it well, my lord, and sure the match were rich and honorable. Besides, the gentleman is full of virtue, bounty, worth, and qualities beseeming such a wife as your fair daughter. Cannot your grace win her to fancy him?
No, trust me. She is peevish, sullen, froward, proud, disobedient, stubborn, lacking in duty, neither regarding that she is my child nor fearing me, as if I were her father. And may I say to thee, this pride of hers, upon advice, hath drawn my love from her. And where I thought the remnant of mine age should have been cherished by her childlike duty, I am now full resolved to take a wife and turn her out. To who will take her in? Then let her beauty be her wedding dower. For me and my possessions she esteems not.
What would your grace have me do in this?
There is a lady in Verona here whom I affect, but she is nice and coy, and naught esteems my aged eloquence. Now, therefore, would I have thee to my tutor, for long agone I have forgot to court, besides the fashion of the time is changed. How and which way I may bestow myself to be regarded in her sun-bright eye.
Win her with gifts if she respect not words. Dumb jewels, often in their silent kind, more than quick words do move a woman's mind.
But she did scorn a present that I sent her.
A woman sometimes scorns that what best contents her. Send her another. Never give her over, for scorn at first makes after love the more. If she do frown, 'tis not in hate of you, but rather to beget more love in you. If she do chide, 'tis not to have you gone. For why the fools are mad if left alone. Take no repulse, whatever she doth say, for get you gone, she doth not mean away. Flatter and praise, commend, extol their graces, though ne'er so black, say they have angels' faces. That man that hath a tongue, I say, is no man if with his tongue he cannot win a woman.
But she, I mean, is promised by her friends unto a youthful gentleman of worth, and kept severely from resort of men, that no man hath access by day to her.
Why, then I would resort to her by night.
Aye, but the doors be locked, and keys kept safe, that no man hath recourse to her by night.
Who lets but one may enter at her window?
Our chamber is aloft, far from the ground, and built so shelving that one cannot climb it without apparent hazard of his life.
Why, then, a ladder, quaintly made of cords, cast up with a pair of anchoring hooks, would serve to scale another Harrow's tower, so bold Leander would adventure it.
Now, as thou art a gentleman of blood, advise me, where may I have such a ladder?
When would you use it? Pray, sir, tell me that.
Well, this very night, for love is like a child that longs for everything that he can come by.
By 7 o'clock, I can get thee such a ladder.
But hark thee, I will go to her alone. How shall I best convey the ladder thither?
It will be light, my lord, that you may bear it under a cloak that is of any length.
A cloak as long as thine will serve the turn?
Aye, my good lord.
Then let me see thy cloak. I'll get me one of such another length.
Any cloak will serve the turn, my lord.
How shall I fashion me to wear a cloak? I pray thee, let me feel thy cloak upon me. What letter is this same? What's here? To Sylvia? And here an engine fit for my proceeding? I'll be so bold to break the seal for once. My thoughts do harbor with Sylvia nightly, and slaves they are to me that send me them flying. Oh, could their master come and go as lightly, himself would lodge where senseless they are lying. My herald thoughts in thy pure bosom rest them, while I, their king, that thither them importune, do curse the grace that with such grace hath blessed them, because myself do want my servants' fortune. I curse myself, for they are sent by me, that they should harbor where their lord should be. What's here? Sylvia, this night I will enfranchise thee? 'Tis so, and here's the ladder for the purpose. Why, Phaeton, for thou art Merab's son, wilt thou aspire to guide the heavenly car, and with thy darting folly burn the world? Wilt thou reach stars because they shine on me? Go, base intruder, overweening slave, bestow thy fawning smiles on equal mates, and think my patience more than thy desert is privilege for thy departure hence. Thank me for this, more than for all the favors which all too much I have bestowed on thee. But if thou linger in my territories longer than swiftest expedition will give thee time to leave our royal court, by heaven, my wrath shall far exceed the love I ever bore my daughter or thyself. Begone, I will not hear thy vain excuse, but as thou lovest thy life, make speed from hence.
Why not death rather than living torment? To die is to be banished from myself, and Sylvia is myself. Banished from her is self from self, a deadly banishment. What light is light if Sylvia be not seen? What joy is joy if Sylvia be not by? Unless it be to think that she is by and feed upon the shadow of perfection. Except I be by Sylvia in the night, there is no music in the nightingale. Unless I look on Sylvia in the day, there is no day for me to look upon. She is my essence, and I leave to be, if I be not by her fair influence fostered, illumined, cherished, kept alive. I fly not death, to fly is deadly doom. Tarry I here, I but attend on death, but fly I hence, I fly away from life.
Oh, internet unstable, run, boy, run, run!
So,
What seest thou?
here we go to find there's not a hair on one's head, but 'tis a Valentine.
Valentine?
No,
Who then? His spirit?
neither.
What then?
Nothing.
Let nothing speak. Master, shall I strike?
Without strike.
Nothing.
Villain, forbear.
Why, sir, I'll strike nothing, I pray you.
Sir, I say forbear. Friend Valentine, a word.
My ears are stopped and cannot hear good news, so much of bad hath already possessed them.
Then in done silence will I bury mine, for they are harsh, untunable, and bad.
Is Sylvia dead?
No, Valentine.
No Valentine indeed, for sacred Sylvia. Hath she forsworn me?
No, Valentine.
No Valentine if Sylvia hath forsworn me. What is your news?
Sir,
Sir,
there is a proclamation. You are vanished.
that thou art banished. That's the news. from hence, from Sylvia, and from me, my
Oh,
friend.
I have fed upon this woe already, and now an excess of it will make me surfeit. Does Sylvia know that I am banished?
Aye, aye, and she hath offered to the doom which unreversed stands in effectual force, a sea of melting pearl, which some call tears. Those at her father's churlish feet she tendered, with them upon her knees, her humble self wringing her hands, whose whiteness so became them as if by now they waxed pale of woe. By neither bended knees, pure hands held up, sad sighs, deep groans, nor silver shedding tears could penetrate her heart, compassionate sire. But Valentine, if he be taken, must die. Besides, her intercession chafed him so when she for thy repale was suppliant, then to close a prison he commanded her, with many bitter threats of biding there.
No more, unless the next word thou speakest have some malignant power upon my life. If so, I pray thee, breathe it in my ear as ending anthem of my endless dolour.
Cease to lament, for thou canst help, and study help for that which thou lamentest. Time is the nurse and breeder of all good. Here, if thou stay, thou canst not see thy love. Besides, thy staying will abridge thy life. Hope is a lover's staff. Walk hence with that, and manage it against despairing thoughts. Thy letters may be here, though thou art hence, which, being writ to me, shall be delivered even in the milk-white bosom of thy love. The time now serves not to expostulate. Come, I'll convey thee through the city gate, and there I'll part with thee. Confer at large of all that may concern thy love affairs, as thou lovest Sylvia, though not for thyself. Regard thy danger, and along with me.
I pray thee, Launce, and if thou seest my boy, bid him make haste and meet me at the north gate.
Go, sir. Find him out. Come, Valentine.
Oh, my dear Sylvia, hapless Valentine.
I am but a fool, look you, and yet I have the wit to think my master is a kind of a knave. But that's all one, if he but be but one knave. He lives not now that knows me to be in love, yet I am in love. But a team of horses shall not pluck that from me, nor who 'tis I love, and yet 'tis a woman, but what woman I will not tell myself, and yet 'tis a milkmaid, yet 'tis not a maid, for she hath had gossips, yet 'tis a maid, for she is her master's maid, and serves for wages. 'Tis more qualities than a water spaniel, which is much in a bare Christian. Here is the catalogue of her condition, imperious. She can fetch and carry. Why, a horse can do no more. Nay, a horse cannot fetch, but only carry. Therefore, is she better than a jade? Item, she can milk. Look you, a sweet virtue and a maid with clean hands.
How now, Signor Lance? What news with your mastership?
With my mastership, why, he is at sea.
Well, your old vice still. Mistake the word. What news then in your paper?
The blackest news that ever thou heardest.
Why, man, how black?
As black as ink.
Well, let me read them.
Fie on thee, jolthead, thou canst not read.
Thou liest, I can.
I will try thee. Tell me this. Who begot thee?
Marry, the son of my grandfather.
Oh, illiterate loiterer, it was the son of thy grandmother. This proves that thou canst not read.
Come, fool, come. Try me in thy paper.
There. And Saint Nicholas be thy speed.
In primis, she can milk.
Aye, that she can.
Item, she brews good ale.
And therefore comes the proverb, blessing of your heart, you brew good ale.
Item, she can sew.
That's as much as to say, can she sew?
Item, she can knit.
What needle a man care for a stock with a wench when she can knit him a stock?
Item, she can wash and scour.
Oh, a special virtue, for then she needs not be washed and scoured.
Item, she can spin.
And may I set the world on wheels when she can spin for her living?
Item, she hath many nameless virtues.
That's as much as to say bastard virtues, that indeed know not their fathers, and therefore have no names.
Here follow her vices.
Close at the heels of her virtues.
Item, she is not to be fasting in respect of her breath.
Well, that fact may be mended with the breakfast. Read on.
Item, she hath a sweet mouth.
That makes amends for her sour breath.
Item, she doth talk in her sleep.
There's no matter for that, so she'll sleep not in her talk.
Item, she is slow in words.
Oh, villain, that set this down among her vices. To be slow in words is a woman's only virtue. I pray thee out with it, and place it for her chief virtue.
Item, she is proud.
Out with that too. It was Eve's legacy, and cannot be taken from her.
Item, she hath no teeth.
I care not for that neither, because I love crusts.
Item, she is cursed.
Oh, the best is she hath no teeth to bite.
Item, she will often praise her liquor.
If her liquor be good, she shall. If she will not, I will, for good things should be praised.
Item, she is too liberal.
Oh, of her tongue she cannot, for that's writ down she is slow of. Of her purse she shall not, for that I'll keep shut. Now of another thing she may, and that cannot I help, will proceed.
Item, she hath more hair than wit, and more faults than hairs, and more wealth than faults.
Oh, stop there. I'll have her. She was mine and not mine. Twice or thrice in the last article. Rehearse that once more.
Item, she hath more hair than wit.
More hair than wit, it may be, I'll prove it. The corner of the salt hides the salt, and therefore it is more than the salt. The hair that covers the wit is more than the wit, for the greater hides the less. What's next?
And more faults than hairs.
That's monstrous. Oh, that they were out.
And more wealth than faults.
Why, that word makes the faults gracious. Why, I'll have her, and if be a match as nothing is impossible.
What then?
Why, then will I tell thee that thy master stays for thee at the north gate.
For me?
For thee. Aye, who art thou? He has said, stayed for a better man than thee.
And must I go to him?
Thou must run for him, for thou hast stayed so long that going will scarce serve the turn.
Why didst thou not tell me sooner? Pox of your love letters.
Nay, will he be swinged for reading my letter, an unmannerly slave that would thrust himself into secrets all after to rejoice in the boy's correctio.
Sir Thurio, fear not, but that she will love you. Now Valentine is banished from her sight.
Since his exile, she had despised me most, forsworn my company, and railed at me that I am desperate of obtaining her.
This weak, impressive love is as a figure trenched in ice, which with an hour's heat dissolves to water, and doth lose his form. A little time will melt her frozen thoughts, and worthless Valentine shall be forgot. How now, Sir Proteus? Is your countryman, according to our proclamation, gone?
Gone, my good lord.
My daughter takes his going grievously?
A little time, my lord, will kill that grief.
So I believe, but Thurio thinks not so. Proteus, the goods conceit I hold of thee, for thou hast shown some sign of good desert, makes me the better to confer with thee.
Longer than I prove loyal to your grace, let me not live to look upon your grace.
Thou knowest how willingly I would effect the match between Sir Thurio and my daughter.
I do, my lord.
And also I think thou art not ignorant how she opposes her against my will.
She did, my lord, when Valentine was here.
Aye, and perversely, she perseveres so. What might we do to make the girl forget the love of Valentine and love Sir Thurio?
The best way is to slander Valentine with falsehood, cowardice, and poor dissent. Three things that women highly hold in hate.
Aye, but she'll think that it is spoken hate.
Ah, if his enemy deliver it. Therefore it must with circumstance be spoken by one whom she esteemed as his friend.
Then you must undertake to slander him.
And that, my lord, I shall be loath to do. 'Tis an ill office for a gentleman, especially against his very friend.
Where your good word cannot advantage him, your slander can never end damage him. Therefore, the office is indifferent, being entreated to it by your friend.
You have prevailed, my lord. If I can do it by aught that I can speak in his dispraise, she shall not long continue to love to him. But say this weed of her love from Valentine, it follows not that she will love Sir Thurio.
Therefore, as you unwind her love from him, lest it should ravel and be good to none, you must provide to bottom it on me, which must be done by praising me as much as you've been worth dispraise Sir Valentine.
And Proteus, we dare trust you in this kind because we know on Valentine's report you are already love's firm votary and cannot soon revolt and change your mind. Upon this warrant shall you have access, where you, with Sylvia, may confer at large, for she is lumpish, heavy, melancholy, and for your friend's sake will be glad of you, where you may temper her by your persuasion to hate young Valentine and love my friend.
As much as I can do, I will effect. But you, Sir Thurio, are not sharp enough. You must lay lime to tangle her desires by wailful sonnets, whose composed rhyme shall be full fraught with serviceable vows.
Ah, much is the force of heaven-bred poesy.
Say that upon the altar of her beauty you sacrifice your tears, your sighs, your heart. Write till your ink be dry. With your tears moist it again. Frame some feeling line that may discover such integrity. For Orpheus' lute was strung with poet's sinews, whose golden touch could soften steel and stones, make tigers tame, and huge leviathans forsake astounded deeps to dance on sands after your dire lamenting elegies. Visit by night your lady's chamber window with some sweet consort. To their instruments, tune a deploring dump. The night's dead silence will well become such sweet complaining grievance. This or nothing else imperator.
This discipline shows thou hast been in love.
And thy advice this night I'll put in practice. Therefore, sweet Proteus, my direction giver, let us into the city presently to sort some gentlemen well skilled in music. I have a sonnet that will serve the turn to give the onset to thy good advice.
About it, gentlemen.
We'll wait upon your grace till after supper and afterwards determine our proceedings.
Even now about it, I will pardon you. Fellows, stand fast, I see a passenger.
Who's the second outlaw?
Jackie,
What page are we on? I'm sorry.
71, second outlaw.
Okay, 71. All right. Okay. Oh, right. Sorry, second out. If there be 10, shrink not, but down with them.
Stand, sir, and throw us that you have about ye. If not, we'll make you sit and rifle you.
Oh, all right. Sir, we are undone. These are the villains that all the travelers do fear so much.
My friends!
That's not so. We are your enemies.
Peace, we'll hear you.
Aye, by my beard we will we, for he is a proper man.
Then know that I have little wealth to lose. A man I am, crossed with adversity. My riches are these poor habiliments, of which, if you should here disfurnish me, you take the sum and substance of all I have.
Whither travel you?
To Verona,
Whence came you?
from Milan.
Have you long sojourned there?
Some 16 months, and longer might
Oh.
have stayed if crooked fortune had not thwarted me.
What, were you banished thence?
I was.
For what offense?
For that which now torments me to rehearse. I killed a man, whose death I now much repent, and yet I slew him manfully in fight without false vantage or base treachery.
I ne'er repented if it were done so, but were you banished for so small a fault?
I was, and held me glad of such a doom.
Have you the tongues?
My youthful travel therein had made me happy, or else I often had been miserable.
By the bare scalp of Robin Hood's fat friar, this fellow were a king for our wild faction.
We'll have him. Sirs, a word. Masters, be one of them. It's an honorable kind of thievery.
You villain.
Tell us this. Have you anything to take to?
Nothing but my fortune.
Know then that some of us are gentlemen, such as the fury of ungoverned youth thrust from the company of awful men. Myself was from Verona banished for practicing to steal away a lady, an heir and niece, allied unto the Duke.
And I from Mantua, for a gentleman who in my mood I stabbed into the heart.
And I, for such like petty crimes as these. But to the purpose. For we cite our faults, that they may hold excuse our lawless lives, and hardly seeing you are beautified with goodly shape, and by your own report a linguist and man of such perfection as we do in our quality much want.
Indeed, because you're a banished man. Therefore, above the rest, we parley to you. Are you content to be our general, to make a virtue of necessity, and live as we do in this wilderness?
What sayst thou? Wilt thou be of our consort? Say I, and be the captain of us all, will do thee homage, and be ruled by thee, love thee as our commander and our king.
But if thou scorn our courtesy, thou diest.
Thou shalt not live to brag what we have offered.
I take your offer and will live with you, provided that you do no outrages on silly women or poor passengers.
No, we detest such vile, base practices. Come, go with us. We'll bring thee to our cruise and show thee all the treasure we have got, which with ourselves all rest at thy dispose.
Already have I been false to Valentine, and now I must be as unjust to Thurio. Under the color of commending him, I have access my own love to prefer. But Sylvia is too fair, too true, too holy to be corrupted with my worthless guilts. When I protest true loyalty to her, she twits me with my falsehood to my friend. When to her beauty I commend my vows, she bids me think how I have been forsworn in breaking faith with Julia, whom I loved. And notwithstanding all her sudden quips, the least whereof would quell a lover's hope, yet spaniel-like, the more she spurns my love, the more it grows and fawneth on her still. Here comes Thurio. Now must we to her window and give some evening music to her ear.
How now, Sir Proteus, are you crept before us?
Aye, gentle Thurio, for you know that love will creep in service where it cannot go.
Aye, but I hope, sir, that you love not here.
Sir, but I do, or else I would be hence.
Oh, Sylvia,
Aye, Sylvia, for your sake.
I thank you for your own. Now, gentlemen, let's tune into it lustily a while.
Now, my young guest, methinks you're alley-colly. I pray you, why is it?
Marry, mine host, because I cannot be merry.
Come, we'll have you married. I'll bring you where you shall hear music and see the gentleman you asked for.
But shall I hear him speak?
Aye, that you shall.
That will be music.
Hark, hark.
Is he among these?
Aye, but peace. Let's hear him.
Sylvia, what is she that all our swains commend her? Holy, fair, and wise is she, the heavens such grace did lend her, that she might admired be. Is she kind as she is fair? For beauty lives with kindness, love doth to her eyes repair. Then to help him of his blindness, and being helped inhabits there. Then to Sylvia let us sing, that Sylvia is excelling. She excels such mortal thing. Upon the dull earth dwelling, to her let us garlands bring.
How now? Are you sadder than you were before? How do you, man? The music likes you not.
You mistake. The musician likes me not.
Why, my pretty youth?
He plays false, father.
How? Out of tune on the strings?
Not so, but yet so false that he grieves my very heartstrings.
You have a quick ear.
Aye, I would I were deaf. It makes me have a slow heart.
I perceive you delight not in music.
Not a whit, when it jars so.
Hark, what fine change is in the music.
Aye, that change is the spite.
You would have them always play, but you would have them always play but one thing?
I would always have one play but one thing. But host, does this Sir Proteus that we talk on often resort unto this gentlewoman?
I tell you what Lance, his man, told me. He loved her out of all Nick.
Where is Lance?
Gone to seek his dog, which tomorrow, by his master's command, he must carry for a present to his lady.
Beast, stand aside, the company parts.
Sir Thurio, fear not you. I will so plead that you shall say my cunning drift excels.
Where meet we?
At St. Gregory's Well.
Farewell.
Madam, good evening to your ladyship.
I thank you for your music, gentlemen. Who is it that spake?
One lady, if you know his pure heart's truth, you would quickly learn to know him by his voice.
Oh, Sir Protheus, as I take it.
Sir Proteus, gentle lady, and your servant,
What's your will?
that I may compass yours.
You have your wish, my will is even this, that presently you hie you home to bed. Thou subtle, perjured, false, disloyal man, thinkest thou I am so shallow, so conceitless, to be seduced by thy flattery, that has deceived so many with thy vows? Return, return, and make thy love amends for me by this pale queen of night, I swear. I am so far from granting thy request that I despise thee for thy wrongful suit, and by and by intend to chide myself even for this time I spent in talking to thee.
I grant, sweet love, that I did love a lady, but she is dead.
'Twere false if I should speak it, for I am sure she is not buried.
Say that she be, yet Valentine thy friend survives, to whom thyself art witness I am betrothed to, and art thou not ashamed to wrong him with thy importunacy?
I likewise hear that Valentine is dead.
And so am I. For in her grave assure thyself my love is buried.
Oh, sweet lady, let me rake it from the earth.
Go to thy lady's grave and call hers thence, or at least in hers sepulture thine.
He heard not that.
Madam, if your heart be so obdurate, vouchsafe me yet your picture for my love. The picture that is hanging in your chamber, to that I'll speak. To that I'll sigh and weep. For since the substance of your perfect self is else devoted, I am but a shadow, and to your shadow will I make true love.
If 'twere a substance, you would sure deceive it, and make it but a shadow, as I am.
I am very loath to be your idol, sir, but since your falsehood shall become you well to worship shadows and adore false shapes, send to me in the morning, and I'll send it, and so good rest.
As wretches have overnight that wait for execution in the morn.
House, will you go?
By my
Oh,
holly dome I was fast asleep.
pray you, where lies Sir Proteus?
Marry at my house, trust me, I think 'tis almost day.
Not so, but it hath been the longest night that e'er I watched, and the most heaviest.
This is the hour that Madame Sylvia entreated me to call and know her mind. There's some great matter that she'd employ me in. Madam, madam,
Who calls?
your servant and your friend, one that attends your ladyship's command.
Oh, Sir Eglamour, 1,000 times good morrow.
Ah, as many, worthy lady, to yourself, according to your ladyship's impose. I am thus early come to know what service it is your pleasure to commit me in.
Oh, Eglamour, thou art a gentleman. Think not I flatter, for I swear I do not. Valiant, wise, remorseful, well accomplished. Thou art not ignorant what dear goodwill I bear unto the banished Valentine, nor how my father would enforce me to marry vain Thorio, whom my very soul abhorred. Thyself hath loved, and have heard thee say, no grief did ever come so near the heart as when thy lady and thy true love died, upon whose grave thou vowest pure chastity. Sir Eglamour, I would to Valentine, to Manitua, where I heard he makes abroad, and for the whales and for the waves are dangerous to pass, I do desire thy worthy company, upon whose faith and honor I repose. Urge not my father's anger and glamour, but think upon my grief, a lady's grief, and on the justice of my flying hence, to keep me from a most unholy match, which heaven and fortune shall reward with plagues. I do desire thee, even with a heart as full of sorrows as the sea of sands, to bear me company and go with me, if not to hide what I have said to thee, that I may venture to depart, if not to hide what I have said to thee, that I may venture to depart alone.
Madam, I pity much your grievances, which, since I know they virtuously are placed, I give consent to go along with you, recking as little what betideth me, as much as I wish all good be fortune you. When will you go?
This evening coming,
Where shall I meet you?
at Friar Patrick's cell, where I intend holy confession.
I will not fail your ladyship. Good morrow, gentle lady.
Good morrow, kind Eglamour. When a man's servant shall play cure with him, look you, it goes hard. One that I brought up as a puppy, the one I say from drowning, when 3 or 4 of its blind brothers and sisters went to it, I have taught him, even as one would say, precisely. Thus I would teach a dog. I was sent to deliver him as a present to Mistress Sylvia from my master, and I came no sooner into the dying chamber, but he steps me to her treacher and steals her capon's leg. Oh, 'tis a foul thing when a cur cannot keep himself in all companies. I would have, as one should say, one that takes up on him to be a dog indeed, to be as it were a dog at all things. If I had not had more wit than he to take a fault upon me than he did, I think verily he had been hanged for sure. Sure as I live, he had suffered for it. You shall judge. He trusts me himself into the company. He thrusts me himself into the company of 3 or more gentlemen like dogs under the Duke's table. He had not been there, bless the mark, a pissing while, but all the chamber smelt him. Out with the dog, says one. What cur is that, says another. Whip him out, says a third. Hang him up, says the Duke. I haven't been acquainted with the smell before, and knew it was crab, and goes me to the fellow that whips the dog. Friend, quoth I, if you mean to whip the dog, I marry, do I, quoth he. You do him the more wrong, quoth I. 'Twas I did the thing you want of. He makes me no more do but whips me out of the chamber. How many masters would do this for his servant? Nay, I'll be sworn I have sat in the stocks for puddings he has stolen, otherwise he had been executed. I have stood on the pillow for geese he hath killed, otherwise he had suffered for it. Thou thinkest not of this now? Nay, I remember the trick you served me when I took my leave of Madame Sylvia. Did not I bid thee still mark me and do as I do? When didst thou see me heave up my leg and make water against a woman's farthingale? Didst thou ever see me do such a trick?
Sebastian, Sebastian is thy name? I like thee well, and I will employ thee in some service presently.
In what you please, I'll do what I can.
I hope thou wilt. And now, you horse and peasant, where have you been these 2 days loitering?
Marry, sir, I carried Mistress Sylvia the dog you bade me.
And what says she to my little jewel?
Marry, she says your dog was a car, and tells you careless thanks is good enough for such a present.
But she receiveth my dog.
No, indeed, did she not? Here have I brought him back again.
What, didst thou offer her this for me?
I said the other squirrel was stolen from me by the hangman's boys in the marketplace, and then I offered her mine own, who's a dog as big as 10 of yours, and therefore the gift the greater.
Go, get thee hence and find my dog again, or never return again in my sight. Away, I say. Sayest thou here to vex me here? A slave that still an end turns me to shame. Sebastian, I have entertained thee partly that I have need of such a youth that can with some discretion do my business, for 'tis no trusting to yon foolish lout, but chiefly for thy face and thy behavior, which, if my augury deceive me not, witness good bringing up fortune and truth. Therefore I know thee for this, I entertain thee. Go presently and take this ring with thee. Deliver it to Madame Sylvia. She loved me well. Deliver it to me.
It seems you love not her, not leave her token. She is dead, belike?
Not so. I think she lives.
Alas,
Why dost thou cry alas?
I cannot choose but pity her,
Wherefore shouldst thou pity her?
because methinks that she loved you as well as you do love your lady Sylvia. She dreams on him that has forgot her love. You dote on her that cares not for your love. 'Tis pity love should be so contrary, and thinking on it makes me cry, alas.
Well, give her that ring, and therewithal this letter that's her chamber. Tell my lady I claim the promise for her heavenly picture. Your message done, hie home unto my chamber, where thou shalt find me sad and solitary.
How many women would do such a message? Alas, poor Proteus, thou hast entertained a fox to be the shepherd of thy lambs. Alas, poor fool, why do I pity him that with his very heart despiseth me? Because he loves her, he despiseth me. Because I love him, I must pity him. This ring I gave him when he parted from me to bind him to remember my good will. And now am I unhappy messenger to plead for that which I would not obtain, to carry that which I would have refused, to praise his faith which I would have dispraised. I am my master's true confirmed love, but cannot be true servant to my master, unless I prove false traitor to myself. Yet will I woe for him, and yet so coldly, as heaven knows I would not have him speed. Gentlewoman, good day. I pray you be my mean to bring me where to speak with Madame Sylvia.
What would you wish with her, that I be she?
If you be she, I do entreat your patience to hear me speak the message I am sent on.
From whom?
From my master, Sir Proteus, madam.
Oh, he sends you for a picture?
Ay, madam.
Ursula, bring my picture there. Go give your master this. Tell him from me, one Julia, that his changing thoughts forgot, would better fit his chamber than this shadow.
Madam, please you peruse this letter. Pardon me, madam, I have unadvised delivered you a paper that I should not. This is the letter to your ladyship.
I pray thee, let me look on that again.
It may not be. Good madam, pardon me.
There, hold. I will not look upon your master's lines. I know they are stuffed with protestations and full of newfound oath which he will break as easily as I do tear his paper.
Madam, he sends your ladyship this ring.
Oh, the more shame for him that he sends it to me, for I have heard him say 1,000 times his Julia gave it to him at his departure, though his false finger have profaned the ring, mine shall not do his Julia so much wrong.
She thanks you.
What sayest thou?
I thank you, madam, that you tender her. Poor gentlewoman, my master wrongs her much.
Dost thou know her?
Almost as well as I do know myself. To think upon her woes, I do protest that I have wept 100 several times.
Belike she thinks that Proteus hath forsook her.
I think she doth, and that's her cause of sorrow.
Is she not passing fair?
She hath been fairer, madam, than she is, when she did think my master loved her well. She, in my judgment, was as fair as you, but since she did neglect her looking glass, and threw her sun-expelling mask away, the air hath starred the roses in her cheeks, and pinched the lily tincture of her face, and that now she is become as black as I.
How tall was she?
About my stature. For at Pentecost, when all our pageants of delight were played, our youth got me to play the woman's part, and I was trimmed in Madame Julia's gown, which served me as fit by all men's judgments as if the garment had been made for me. Therefore I know she is about my height, and at that time I made her weep a good, for I did play a lamentable part. Madam, 'twas Ariadne, passioning for Theseus' perjury and unjust flight, which I so lively acted with my tears that my poor mistress, moved therewithal, wept bitterly, and would I might be dead if I in thought felt not her very sorrow.
She is beholding to thee, gentle youth. Alas, poor lady, desolate and left, I weep myself to think upon thy words. Here, youth, here is my purse. I give thee this for thy sweet mistress's sake, because thou lovest her. Farewell.
And she shall thank you for it, if e'er you know her. A virtuous, gentle woman, mild and beautiful. I hope my master's suit will be but cold, since she respects my mistress' love so much. Alas, how love can trifle with itself. Here is her picture. Let me see. I think if I had such attire, this face of mine were full as lovely as is this of hers. And yet the painter flattered her a little, unless I flatter with myself too much. Her hair is auburn, mine is perfect yellow. If that be all the difference in his love, I'll get me such a colored periwig. Her eyes are gray as glass, and so are mine. Ay, but her forehead's low, and mine's as high. What should it be that he respects in her, but I can make respective in myself? If this fond love were not a blinded God. Come, shadow, come, and take this shadow up, for 'tis thy rival. O thou senseless form, thou shalt be worshipped, kissed, loved, and adored. And were there sense in his idolatry, my substance should be statue in thy stead. I'll use thee kindly, for thy mistress' sake, that use me so. Or else, by Jove, I vow I should have scratched out your unseeing eyes to make my master out of love with thee.
It is, sorry. The sun begins to gild the western sky, and now it is about the very hour that Sylvia at Friar Patrick's cell should meet me. She will not fail, for lovers break not hours, unless it be to come before their time. So much they spur their expedition. See where she comes. Lady, a happy evening.
Amen, amen. Go on, good Eglamour. Out at the postern by the abbey wall. I fear I am attended by some spies.
Fear not, the forest is not 3 leagues off. If we recover that, we are sure enough.
Sir Proteus, what says Sylvia to my suit?
Oh, sir, I find her milder than she was, and yet she takes exception at your person.
What, that my leg is too long?
No, that it is too little.
I'll wear a boot to make it somewhat rounder.
But love will not be spurred to what it loathes.
What says she to my face?
She says it is a fair one.
Nay, then, the wanton lies. My face is black.
But pearls are fair, and the old saying is, black men are pearls in beauteous ladies' eyes.
Julie.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. Julia?
No, it's Thurio.
No. Okay.
Thuria. I said, black men are pearls in beauteous ladies' eyes.
The next line is Turio's.
Oh,
Yes.
is it mine? I see Julia here. Okay, okay. How likes she my discourse?
Yeah. All right. Ill when you talk of war.
But well, when I discourse of love and peace,
But better indeed when you hold your peace.
what says she to my valor?
Oh, sir, she makes no doubt of that.
She needs not when she knows it's cowardice.
What says she to my birth?
That you are well derived.
True, from a gentleman to a fool.
Considers she my possessions?
Oh, aye, and pities them.
Wherefore?
That such an ass should owe them.
That they are out by lease.
Here comes the Duke.
How now, Sir Proteus? How now, Thurio? Which of you saw Eglamour of late?
Not I.
Nor I.
Saw you my daughter?
Neither.
Why then, she's fled unto that peasant, Valentine, and Eglamour is in her company. 'Tis true, for Friar Lawrence met them both, as he in penance wandered through the forest. Him he knew well, and guessed that it was she, but being masked, he was not sure of it. Besides, she did intend confession at Patrick's cell this evening, and there she was not. These likelihoods confirm her flight from hence. Therefore, I pray you stand, not to discourse, but mount you presently, and meet with me upon the rising of the mountain foot that leads to Mantua, whither they are fled. Dispatch, sweet gentlemen, and follow me.
Why, this it is to be a peevish girl that flies her fortune when it follows her. I laughed more to be revenged on Eglamour than for the love of reckless Sylvia.
And I will follow more for Sylvia's love than hate of Eglamour that goes with her.
And I will follow more to cross that love than hate for Sylvia that is gone for love.
Come, be patient. We must bring you to our captain.
1,000 more mischances than this one have learned me how to brook this patiently. Come, bring her away.
Where is the gentleman that was with her?
By being nimble-footed, he hath outrun us, but Moises and Valerius follow him. Go thou with her to the west end of the wood. There is our captain. We'll follow him that's fled. The thicket is beset. He cannot escape.
Come, I must bring you to our captain's cave. Fear not, he bears an honorable mind, and will not use a woman lawlessly.
Oh, Valentine, this I endure for thee.
How use doth breed a habit in a man! This shadowy desert, unfrequented woods, A better brook than flourishing peopled towns. Here can I sit alone, unseen of any, and to the nightingale's complaining notes tune my distresses and record my woes. O thou that dost inhabit in my breast, leave not the mansion so long tenantless, lest, growing ruinous, the building fall and leave no memory of what it was. Prepare me with thy presence, Sylvia. Thou gentle nymph, cherish thy forlorn swain. What hallowing and what stir is this today? These are my mates that make their wills the law. Have some unhappy passenger in chase. They love me well, and yet I have much to do to keep them from uncivil outrages. Withdraw thee, Valentine. Who comes here?
Madam, this service I have done for you, though you respect not aught your servant doth, to hazard life and rescue you from him, that would have forced your honor and your love. Vouchsafe me from my meed but one fair look. A smaller boon than this I cannot beg, and less than this I am sure you cannot give.
How like a dream is this I see and hear. Love, lend me patience to forbear a while.
Oh, miserable, unhappy that I am.
Unhappy were you, madam, ere I came, but by my coming I have made you happy.
By thy approach thou makest me most unhappy.
And me, when he approacheth to your presence.
Had I been seized by a hungry lion, I would have been a breakfast to the beast rather than have false Protheus rescue me. Oh, heaven be judge how I love Valentine, whose life's as tender to me as my soul, and full as much for more there cannot be. I do detest false perjured Protheus. Let me gone, solicit me no more.
What dangerous action stood it next to death would I not undergo for one calm look? Oh, 'tis the curse in love, and still approve when women cannot love where they beloved, where they're beloved.
When Proteus cannot love where he be loved. Read over Julia's heart, thy first best love, for whose dear sake thou didst then rend thy faith into 1,000 oaths, and all those oaths descended into perjury to love me. Thou hast no faith left now, unless thou wast two, and that's fair worse than none. Better have none than plural faith, faith which is too much by one, thou counterfeit to thy true friend.
In love, who respects friends?
All men but Proteus.
Nay, if the gentle spirit of moving words can no way change you to a milder form, will you like a soldier at arm's end and love ye against the nature of love? Force ye.
Oh, heaven!
I'll force thee yield to my desire.
Ruffian, let go that rude uncivil touch, thou friend of an ill fashion.
Valentine.
Thou common friend, that's without faith or love, for such is a friend now. Treacherous man, thou hast beguiled my hopes. Naught but mine eye could have persuaded me. Now I dare not say I have one friend alive. Thou wouldst disprove me. Who should be trusted when one's right hand is perjured to the bosom? Proteus, I am sorry I never trust thee more, but count the world a stranger for thy sake. The private wound is deepest. O time most accursed! Mongst all foes that are friends should be the worst.
My shame and guilt confounds me. Forgive me, Valentine. If heavy sorrow be a sufficient ransom for offense, I tender it here. I do as truly suffer as ere I did commit.
Then I am paid. And once again I do receive thee honest. Who by repentance is not satisfied is nor of heaven nor earth, for these are pleased. By penitence the Eternal's wrath's appeased. And that my love may appear plain and free, all that was mine in Sylvia I give to thee.
Oh, me unhappy.
Look to the boy.
Why, boy! Wag, how now? What's the matter? Look up, speak.
Oh, good sir, my master charged me to deliver a ring to Madam Sylvia, which out of my neglect was never done.
Where's the ring, boy?
Here 'tis, this is it.
How? Let me see. What? This is the ring I gave to Julia.
Oh, crying mercy, sir, I have mistook. This is the ring you said to send to Sylvia.
How camest thou by this ring? At my depart, I gave this unto Julia.
And Julia herself did give it me, and Julia herself hath brought it hither.
How, Julia? How?
Behold her that gave aim to all thy oaths, and entertained them deeply in her heart. How oft hast thou with perjury cleft the root? O Proteus, let this habit make thee blush. Be thou ashamed that I have took upon me such an immodest raiment. If shame live in a disguise of love, it is the lesser blot modesty finds women to change their shapes than men their minds.
Than men their minds? 'Tis true. O heaven, were men but constant, he were perfect. That one error fills him with faults, makes him run through all the sins. Inconstancy falls off, there it begins. What is in Sylvia's face, but I may spy, more fresh in Julia's, with a constant eye.
Come, come, a hand from either. Let me be blessed to make this happy close. For pity two such friends should be long foes.
Bear witness, heaven, I have my wish forever.
And I mine.
Prize, a prize, a prize!
Forbear, forbear, I say, it is my lord the Duke. Your grace is welcome to a man disgraced, banished Valentine.
Her Valentine.
Yonder is Sylvia, and Sylvia's mine.
Ariel, give back, or else embrace thy death. Come not within the measure of my wrath. Do not name Sylvia thine, if once again Verona should not hold thee. Here she stands. Take but possession of her with a touch. I dare thee but to breathe upon my love.
Sir Valentine, I care not for her. I hold him but a fool that will endanger his body for a girl that loves him not. I claim her not, and therefore she is thine.
More degenerate and base art thou to make such means for her as thou hast done, and leave her on such slight conditions. Now, by the honor of my ancestry, I do applaud thy spirit, Valentine, and think thee worthy of an empress love. Know then, I here forget all former griefs, cancel all grudge, repeal thee home again, plead a new state in thy unrivaled merit, to which I thus subscribe. Sir Valentine, thou art a gentleman and well derived. Take thou thy Sylvia, for thou hast deserved her.
I thank your grace. The gift hath made me happy. I do beseech you for your daughter's sake to grant one boon that I shall ask of you.
I grant it, for thine own, whate'er it be.
These banished men that I have kept withal are men endued with worthy qualities. Forgive them what they have committed here, and let them be recalled from their exile. They are reformed, civil, full of good, and fit for great employment, my worthy lord.
Thou hast prevailed. I pardon them and thee. Dispose of them as thou knowst thou deserts. Come, let us go. We will include all jars with triumphs, mirth, and rare solemnity.
And as we will walk along, I dare be bold with our discourse to make your grace to smile. What think you of this page, my lord?
I think the boy hath grace in him. He blushes.
I warrant you, my lord, more grace than boy.
What mean you by that saying?
Please you, I'll tell you as we pass along, that you will wonder what hath fortuned. Come, Proteus, 'tis your penance but to hear the story of your loves discover it. That done, our day of marriage shall be yours, one feast, one house, one mutual happiness. Yay! And that is our play enacted.
Thank you all.
Thank you all
Yes.
for joining us today online with Instant Shakespeare. If Paul were here, I'm sure he would have some fine words. But
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you all so much. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for our audience where we actually had some people here. So great
Oh.
job. And this was a lot of fun. I
Yeah.
enjoyed listening to it, and really excellent work, everyone. Thank you so much.
Live and learn. I don't know how bad it was afterwards. Did it get better? Because I think what it was that I had a screen. You can't have anything around the back of your computer. And I think my largest screen, I had it too close. Once I moved it, it seemed to have gotten better. So it was, how bad was it for the first, like, was any of my stuff audible or anything?
Yeah,
we
the
heard
beginning
Yeah,
everything.
it
was
was
fine. The
audible.
middle
It
was
just
iffy.
interrupted.
All right, but it stopped later on, right? So I figured it out. All right, that's what it is. So don't ever put anything in back your, like if you have a big screen, just
Do
share
not
it.
wrap your computer in aluminum foil. Bad idea.
Yeah, it really. I remember somebody saying that once, that if you're having a problem with your connection, because I even got this new upgraded thing from Spectrum that's supposed to make it better, the speed better now. And I said, why is this happening? I said, I remember them saying that always check to see if you had like a fan in the back of it, or any kind of, I guess it messes with the microwaves or whatever.
It's the electrical field around some things, especially fans, can interrupt the rate, because all wireless is a radio signal in your house, and you also want to make sure that your access point is nice and in the middle, because any strong walls, thick walls, stone, masonry, steel.
Yeah, my modem is all the way down the other end of the apartment, down the hall, but it works great. In fact, when I used to do wired, I'd lose my stability because the wire got interrupted more than now. The new modems are supposed to be really great, So whatever.
Yeah. Well, anyways, thank you, and especially Varen for stepping in at the last moment. Thank you so much. And we have many more readings to come this coming week. We have on Thursday, March 27th, which is World Theater Day. We're going to celebrate it at 1 p.m. just a sort of free for all, where people can share anything that they want from Shakespeare or any other sort of theater, or even sort of talk about why theater is important to them. And then in the evening at 7:30, we're doing a reading of one of my father's plays. And then next Saturday, we're doing the first part of Henry VI, also on Zoom. And that has a lot of characters. So anybody who's interested, please let me
I have a
know.
hard copy of that too.
Thank you so much. Thank you all. It was amazing doing the reading with you all people. You all were so amazing, and I had to. It was like in the beginning it was slightly difficult for me because I'm a newbie. Shakespeare is new to me. You all like were well versed with it, and your rhythm, your flow was all great. And this is my first time joining doing a play like this, reading for a play.
You were wonderful. Thank you.
We're all beginners. We're all
Yes.
beginners.
We all start somewhere.
Come back. Yes.
Yes, we get better. And this was also like one of Shakespeare's early plays. I mean, I think there's a lot of stuff we sort of see with like sort of Julia disguising herself that we then sort of see like in Twelfth Night and other sorts of things. I mean, the one thing that I think is really the big problem with this play is the ending is just sort of, it's like so fast, so quickly. It's like, oh, he's about to rape her, Valentine saves her, and then Valentine forgives him and does it. And
it's almost like we're missing
yeah.
a little speech in there or something.
Yeah, it is. I saw a really good production of this a few years back at Shakespeare and Company. And one of the things that, because also, I mean, especially at the end of the plays, a lot of times the women don't have a lot to say. But one of the, just from the acting of it, the Julia was like, she was over Proteus, it's like she's not going to go back to him. But anyways, that's the sort of things that you can make work in production, which is one of the challenges with the text.
Yeah, that's one of the things I read it. I read it this morning, and I don't think I've ever actually read this play, amazingly, because I didn't recall a single thing about it. But what stood out to me was just the eagerness. I mean, you can tell Shakespeare wants to show the audience, I'm so freaking clever, and I'm going to hit you over the head with it, with the word play and this thing. Oh, you sweet summer child. You're gonna go on to do some good things. This is a good start for you. But
yeah, right.
Yes, and it definitely.
This play had some of the best women's speeches talking
got some
about
good stuff
love. I
in it.
thought that it's really good stuff in it. I really liked listening to what Julius
Yeah.
said.
And how appropriate to have a character named Proteus when so many words and characters are prototypes of later characters. I mean, you hear that there's the what with my tail. There's something that you hear quoted later on in True, not too much longer after. In True, he's sort of picking on himself, and then we've got a musician singing a song in the middle, the Sylvia song. It's like it's you sort of see the beginnings of the things that he's really going to focus on. It's some interesting stuff. Better than I expected.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean,
actually like it. Simple. It's one of his simplest plays, which is a nice thing to be able to read.
Yes. It is almost like there are prototypical versions of As You Like It, of Romeo and Juliet, of various things. And As You Like It, of course, is sublime, and he has mastered it by that point, in my opinion. But yeah, there's a lot of echoes between the two. I agree.
I just have to say, I loved watching you hide behind your water bottle, man. I was
Don't
cracking
do
up.
yourself. Imagine it.
Great. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to stop the live
You
stream
all,
now.
you all soon. Bye bye.